Hey everybody, it's Charles, your hobby hero, coming at you with another video today where we look at a brand new mechanic that Ravensburger just shot out over Twitter, and that is the mechanic Sing Together. Now before we break it down, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down in the bottom corner. I do appreciate it. I do put out regular content about the hobbies that I love the most, with this channel being dedicated to the Lorcana game. Now you heard me right, we have a new mechanic called Sing Together. Now this actually allows you to combine not only the cost of your characters to sing this song, but if you're playing in one of the new team formats, you can actually use your teammates' characters to sing these cards as well. Now that all sounds well and good, but we do have some pretty high costs associated with this new ability, and we'll take a look at that here shortly. I did want to cover one thing really quick though, and that is fact that the Emerald Ursula Deceiver of All, as of right now, has been ruled that she will actually double any of these even if she takes part in singing in any of these songs, which could actually make a lot of these much better than they were possibly originally meant to be. So do try to keep that in mind. I have tried to evaluate these both in a multiplayer setting with the Ursula copying it, and even potentially some of these sneaking into the 1v1 format. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at these 6 new songs revealed. Alright, so the first one I wanted to look at is the Mob Song for 10. It has a Sing Together cost of 10, which deals 3 damage to up to 3 chosen characters and or locations. So this is the beefed up version of Grab Your Swords, which is also from the Mob Song. While it is twice the cost, we don't really have twice the damage. For the extra cost, we do get to put a little more damage on obviously a more narrowed field. Now granted, we don't often get to hit more than 3 characters with a Grab Your Swords anyways, but there is no stipulation on that one. The added bonus for this one is you do also get to hit locations as part of that 3. However, that's not enough currently to finish off any locations, so it's not going to be that removal spell you need for that location, and you're going to have to exert quite a few of your characters in most circumstances to sing that ridiculously high cost of 10. Next one we're going to look at is Dig a Little Deeper. It is an 8 cost song, uninkable as well. Sing Together cost of 8. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Put 2 into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is like a crazy version of Develop Your Brain with an equally crazy cost attached to it. Again, you are going to get to see the top 7 cards of your library, and you are going to get to put any 2 of those cards into your hand, but that is a very steep cost. I'm not entirely sure that if you're not singing this card, you'd have any ability to play it. And again, even with a Sing Together of 8, that is exerting probably a large number of your field. Really anything over like that 7 cost is going to require 2+ characters to sing. So this is something to keep in mind when you're looking at these cards and whether or not they may be constructed viable or not. The next one here is probably one of my favorite ones so far, and that's honestly because it's inkable, and that's a Pirate's Life. It is a 6-drop inkable with Sing Together 6. Each opponent loses 2 lore, and you gain 2 lore. So it's a 4 lore swing for a cost of 6. 6 being kind of that magic number for control decks because of Madame Medusa, Lady Tremaine. A lot of their late game control options can conveniently sing this song for a 4 lore swing. So this one actually could end up being a constructed playable card, even in the 1v1 format, not even in looking at specifically in like a team format. 1, because it's inkable, that makes a big difference, but 2, that cost being so much more manageable that it's actually likely to be able to be sung by just 1 character, and it's a decent enough lore swing that I could see a couple copies of this making it into some of the existing control decks that we already have. Now, whether those decks survive into the next meta is yet to be seen, but I could see this card making an impact in those decks if that's the case. Next up, we have Under the Sea. This is another uninkable 8-drop song with Sing Together 8. You can put all opposing characters with 2 strength or less on the bottom of the player's deck in any order. Now, this one obviously pairs very well with abilities like Kita and some of the other cards we have seen spoiled from the new set that have a lot of strength reduction abilities. Again, that cost of 8 is very, very high. We do have the new Ariel with Singer 7, who can almost get there by itself, and I think if this card cost 7, it could be constructed playable for the simple reason that it becomes a be prepared for just one side of your opponent's board. For the simple reason it becomes a be prepared for one side of the board. However, at 8, I do think it pushes it just out of reach for a 1v1 format. It could end up with enough potential to make it in there. I think if it had been either a little less expensive or inkable, we could see this probably in some 1v1 constructed viable decks. Next one up, we have a look at this family. This one is a 7-drop and inkable, which is what we've been looking for on these songs. Sing Together 7, where you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may reveal up to 2 character cards and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is basically 2 copies of Be Our Guest rolled into one for about 4 times the cost of a Be Our Guest. And still don't get to look as deep as you would like. You're still limited to just the top 5 cards of your deck. And having 2 character cards in the top 5 cards of your deck may be less common than you think, especially if you're playing a song-heavy deck, and especially if there's a specific character that you're looking for. I would have liked for this card, similar to Dig a Little Deeper, to have been able to dig a little deeper off the top of the deck when searching for them, because I think there's going to be a lot of instances where you are able to sing this and search your top 5 and there not be 2 character cards there, and then you just basically paid 7 for a single copy of Be Our Guest, which does not feel good in those situations. Now, again, when you combine things like the Emerald Ursula, that allows this to be doubled, this card could have some more effects, potentially putting 4 cards into your hand, but again, still being limited to those top 5 cards for each of those searches, I think is going to be the biggest thing that holds this card back. And then our last song, we have Second Star to the Right, which is a 10 cost uninkable song for Amethyst with Sing Together 10. Chosen player draws 5 cards. That is a lot of cards to draw, but that is a lot of ink to play or cost to sing. And truth be told, Amethyst is not the best color for high-cost cards, with this kind of claim to fame being the early, efficient characters that it is known for, kind of capping out at those 4-cost cards. And I can't imagine the very many scenarios where you're going to want to be late in the game and exert 3 of your characters in order to draw 5 cards, rather than just trying to push through the last little bit you need for the W. But in a multiplayer format, if you can cheat this thing out earlier in the game on like turn 3 or 4 with your teammate, this card could be a huge, huge game changer, especially if you're in, again, Amethyst and Emerald and able to double the spell's effect with the Emerald Deceiver of All Ursula and draw 10 cards for you and your teammate. The fact that it is chosen player means you can split that up as well. It does not have to be you that draws it. You can give 5 to your teammate, 5 to yourself, or 10 to one of you if one of you guys is playing a more card-intensive deck at that point in time. So there you guys have it. There are the first 6 Sing Together songs we have seen from the new set coming out here in just a couple of weeks. Let me know what you guys think of the new mechanic Sing Together down in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, Hobby Hero.